Okay, at this point, if you followed my last video, both you and I should have empty tables right now. To show you a little trick in SQL Developer, if you highlight a section of complete SQL statement, you can run that separately from the rest. So when I run this, you can see that my vendor table is empty and my product table is empty. So if you ever have wonky things that happen when you run a script, it might be because you've accidentally highlighted something. So always check that if you don't get the expected results. Alright, so the problem we're going to encounter now, the next step is to run the scripts. But the problem we're going to encounter is that there's some products in there that refer to vendors that you should have added manually. So if you look at the lab, I didn't have this set up ready to go. If you look at the lab, you need to add a couple of things from the table. Let's see, where is it at? Page 379, I hope. Yeah, so you need to insert, there's 2 inserts for vendor and 2 for product that you should do at this point before you run the script. Here's the little trick I'm going to tell you. Let me get back to it. You can just do the vendors. You can add the products that are missing later. The vendors are essential though, because of why? Because of referential integrity. You can't add the products in the product table if the 2 vendors that are on page 379 have not been entered. So you can try to run the script both and you'll get most of the data in, but there will be a few products that are skipped because you haven't entered the things on 379. So let's go ahead and do that. In the same time, we'll talk about insert and how it works. So insert works this way. It's just the command insert into the name of the table. We need to do vendor first, in principle, because of referential integrity. The next thing you'll have is a list of column names that you want to enter data for. You can leave that out if you want, and that's what the book does, because if you give a value for everything in the column in the right order after this keyword, then it automatically matches up to the columns in the order that they. In other words, if you do it like vcode first, this is actually in alphabetical order what you're seeing pop up here. But if you do vcode first, and then what's the next thing? The name, vname, etc., etc. If you put values in for those, which I'm going to do now, in parentheses, it will automatically match them up. And you don't have to specify the columns. Sometimes you do want to specify the columns in more advanced insert statements because you don't enter them all. You might have like a sequence that will automatically do update the primary key, and so you don't want to enter it. You want to let the machine enter it. In that case, you do a subset of column names before the values. Maybe I'll show an example of that later. Anyway. Notice also if it's string data like varchar and char and all that, you need to put things between single quotes, not double quotes, but single quotes. And then all the values are just comma separated within the statement. So the next one after Smith's son is, looks like there's single quotes here, but there really don't need to be, I don't think, because I think these are actually numbers, but just in case, we'll go ahead and add the single quote. 615 for the area code. That used to be mine when I was a kid. Believe it or not, in Knoxville. That's what it was. Let's see. 223 dash. I don't like this actual phone number the way it's entering. It should be just 10 digits, but this is how they're doing it, so we'll do it the way they're doing it. I don't really like time. I might pause after this and finish the second one, so you don't have to watch me do it. And then this is whatever this Y or N is for. Can't remember what column that is. If you've typed all this correctly, it should insert this value in for the first column, this for the second, and so on. Let's see if we did it right. Okay, 1 row inserted. You're probably okay in that case. Just to double check, you might do a select star on from vendor just to see if it's in there. And again, you can highlight it just to do that part so you don't try to insert again. If you do try to insert again, by the way, what will happen is you'll get an error because this, in this case, it's entity integrity, right? You can only have one primary key value. You can only have 121.225, so it won't let you insert another one, which is good. You don't want it to allow you to do that. Okay, I'm going to pause and enter the other one. Okay, enter the other thing in from 379 so you can see that both records are in here now. So now I'm free to run the script. I've already downloaded it. I've done this so many times I don't remember whether I've downloaded it or not. But yeah, I've downloaded it. It's in, I do want to show you where it is. It's in labs, lab vendor product. This is a zip file. It's near, should be located near the SQL Lab 2. Entry. I swear to God, dogs. So if you double click on it, usually with if you've got plain text in there, you don't necessarily have to unzip it to get at it, because all you need to do is paste this in. Remember though, the vendor table goes first because of the referential integrity stuff. So these are just more of the same insert statements that we had before. Paste them in, run, do the script command, make sure the commit works. And it looks like everything went in. You can always double check this or do a select star to see if it's all in there, but I'm trusting that it worked in the interest of time and barking dogs. Got so many things open I can't find my product side of the script. So here's the product side of the script. Now that all the vendors are in, you shouldn't have any problems for this side. So paste that in. Bunch of insert into product. Just keep in mind you have to have every one of these foreign keys already in the vendor table or this won't work. At least the individual ones that don't have the match in the vendor table won't work. But I should have them all in there, but well, see how I highlighted that. It didn't do what it's supposed to. By the way, erase will get rid of everything so you can sort of make sure you're doing things correctly. So it looks like everything was entered. You can always do a select star on both to see. I'm trusting that it is in the interest of time. The only thing that's missing now, because I kind of skipped it personally on 379, there's two products that I haven't entered. You need to enter those by hand.